We know that the Galaxy Note 10 and the iPhone 11 are just around the corner. And in the case of the Note 10, as you know, I've had Notes ever since the Note 2. That's the phone I'm getting next. It's definitely the phone I'm getting next. But I'm bored to death. None of these phones excite me, not even the Note 10. As a matter of fact, if I didn't have this tech channel, I probably wouldn't even get the Note for the first time in however many years that is. This is a big problem for these phone companies, and I'll explain why. I haven't done this in a while. What am I supposed to say next? Oh yeah, right after this!
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back, and for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis, and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below, but for now, let's just get into the video. We're only weeks away from the announcement of the Note 10, yet we pretty much know everything, like just about everything. And this has been the case on several phones over the last year and a half now. We've known just about every single thing about these phones before they've launched. The one thing that always seems to surprise us is what they do in software, and that actually makes more sense, as the hardware has to get sent usually to China to be manufactured, and that's probably where it leaks. Whereas the American software, at least for Apple and, well, maybe not Samsung, I guess they're in Korea, but at least for Apple, it's done in America and probably under lock and key. But even Samsung was able to keep a couple surprises for us in the S10, even though we knew lots about that thing before it launched earlier this year. But I gotta tell you, even with the Note 10 coming out, and it does look kind of nice, I'm just not excited for it. I'm not excited for any more phones. I think all the cool things that I wanted, except for maybe one, have been released. And I gotta tell you, man, it's tough for these phone companies. See, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that would be interesting as something that I would want in a new phone is an under glass front-facing camera, under the front screen. So that way you can have a full screen, front screen, everything. But I kind of already have that. I know that the One Plus 7 Pro, it pops up, which I kind of like, but I already have the front screen. So really, I'd actually be gaining pretty much nothing. And for those of you saying, well, that's a mechanical camera, it might break. It's not gonna break in the time I have it. I'm only gonna have it for maybe half a year more, if even that. So I'm not worried about that at all. That's not a concern. But here's the thing. If that's the only major innovation left on all of these phones is to have just a little bit more screen, just by putting the front-facing camera underneath, what's next? Once upon a time, every single year a smartphone came out, there was something to be excited about. I can't remember the last time I've been excited about a phone. Even the Note 9 didn't excite me, which is crazy. I used that all the way up until I got the One Plus 7 Pro and I was happy with it, but at no point was I ever excited for it, not even when I bought it. On a side note, the last time I remember being excited about anything, I think was Siri. It seemed so amazing and different the way that Apple showed it off. Now, of course, it's like the slower cousin of all the other smart assistants nowadays, but back when they announced it, it was amazing and I was excited. This is a major problem for these companies because if people aren't excited about them, especially people like me who are into tech, they're gonna have a hard time making their sales figures, which they're already not making. I guess you gotta look at it like this. These phones are lasting really long periods of time. On the Apple side of things, iOS 13 works on iPhone 6s. It kind of does. I tested that and it doesn't work awesome, but it does work on an iPhone 6s, which means you got phones that are multiple years old, getting the latest and greatest software, which means they'll last for even more years. And on the Android side of things, even if you don't get the latest Android, which sometimes you don't depending on who your carrier is or who the manufacturer of your phone is, they still last really long periods of time. I still have people in the comments with S5s. Some savage users in the comments section. People need to be convinced of amazing reasons to upgrade. And I don't think we're really getting it. Everything's just a little bit better and a little bit faster, a little bit this and a little bit that. $1,000 is the going rate for these phones. How are you going to convince people to pay $1,000 for these things when they're just a little bit better? The average consumer, the people that I always talk about on this channel and that John from Front Page Tech does as well, is really the people who will purchase the most amount of phones. You've got to convince them that their phone that's maybe a year and a half, 2 years old is so much less important and good as the new phones, which by the way you can't do, that they're going to buy the new one. And really the only way that people were able to get this done in the past was when Apple was slowing down phones. Yeah, to protect the battery. At least that would work because people hate it when their phones get slow or get clogged up is what they think it is. When the manufacturer is actually slowing the processor down to save the battery, that's a pretty good way to get people to buy your new stuff. But let's be honest, there's just nothing exciting about what's coming out. Or maybe I'm missing something. My guess is what we'll find is some really cool software features on the Note 10 that will at least get me interested. I'm gonna buy it regardless, but will at least get me interested. I know most of you that watch this channel want to know what I think about the Note 10, so I'm going to get it, don't you worry. But why don't you tell me in the comments below, like, why should I be excited about it? The crazy thing is all the innovation is coming from these Chinese manufacturers. They are doing cool stuff well before the major two, Apple and Samsung, are releasing it to the masses. Now you could say, well, they're testing the waters of the technology, but for the most part they work pretty well. The in-screen fingerprint scan, that thing where you put your finger on it and it reads your thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. That stuff was out for about a year before any of the Samsung phones came out with it. And by the way, I mean, when we see it on an Apple phone, by that point it'll be like, you know, no big deal. Regardless of that fact, it's not exciting. None of this stuff is exciting anymore. Like, it's cool for a minute, and then it's like, what? Where's my $1,000? So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below. And by the way, shout out to my new Instagram. If you're interested in some comedy and some fun stuff, it's in the link in the description below. It's not anything about tech. It's just kind of something fun I'm doing on the side. I'm So Savage 2019. It's truly savage. If this video helped you out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm here every single week, having a blast. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love, peace and love. I gotta get back to Instagram.